Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, SFPULS3, and welcome to a video today where I get to talk about my impressions of WWE 2K17. Now, last weekend when it was SummerSlam weekend, I was out doing all that stuff, but I was also invited by 2K to come to a SummerSlam party and try out WWE 2K17. They had a little demo set up, and they allowed us to go backstage, and I say backstage because it wasn't actually in the party, it was in like this closed off area, and you couldn't exactly record anything, but there was no NDA on anything we were playing, so we could have talked about it like day of. It was just really difficult to kind of get into words what I wanted to say within 140 characters without making an entire thread of tweets, because there was a good amount of stuff I wanted to talk about. Not like too much stuff, because there was only a couple things in the demo, but there was some stuff that I wanted to talk about. So I thought I would stop and, you know, not do it on Twitter and make a video about it. So that's what we're going to talk about right now. Were my impressions of the 2K17 demo. So when we sat down and got in the room, they had Tritons and stuff set up, which was pretty cool. You know, they kind of gave you the immersive experience of having the headphones on. There was a lot going on at this event, so you know, having the headphones really allowed you to kind of get into the gameplay and see what was going on. The menu looked really nice. I thought it looked really nice. There was a cool character selection screen where there's a smoke around the characters as you're picking them, and then the smoke disperses as you pick your character. I thought that was really cool. We got a couple of characters that we got to play as. I don't exactly remember all of them, but I remember the ones. I could try to remember the ones that I do remember, which was AJ Styles, Alberto Del Rio, Finn Balor, Dean Ambrose, Shinsuke Nakamura, Kevin Owens, and I think that's all I remember exactly from the demo that we got to play. There might have been other ones, but those are the ones that we got to play as, because we didn't get super long to play the game or anything. You know, try to keep it rotating and let everyone play it and all that kind of stuff. But those were the characters that we got to play as. So, of course, you know, if you guys know my channel at all or know me at all, you know the first person I'm going to play as is AJ Styles, because this is a big deal to me. This is a huge deal to me, right? AJ Styles is in a freaking WWE game. This is incredible. So that's the first one that I tried out. I'm gonna sit there. I'm gonna watch all the entrances and everything. I'm gonna see everything I can see while I'm sitting there. So I start up AJ Styles' entrance, and we get into the match. And the match types that we had were singles matches. I think we had triple threats, and then we had fatal four-ways. You could only play fatal four-way ladder matches. Of course, this is just a demo. Of course, I don't know the actual game types. They haven't really announced anything like that yet, but what they had accessible at the demo was backstage brawls, ladder matches, you know, no DQ regular matches, stuff like that. We weren't able to go into the crowd and fight or anything. It wasn't in this demo. Nothing like that, you know, just regular stuff. But we did play with the backstage brawl stuff, and I will talk about that in just a minute. But AJ Styles was the first person that I loaded up, because, I mean, it's AJ Styles. This guy is just, I've been downloading this creative character forever, right? So I load him up. I'm playing with Tony Pizza Guy, and I load him up, and we go into the game. And the first thing I notice, of course, is, you know, what's going on in his entrance. The entrance is a little weird. I think that AJ looks, I don't want to say phenomenal, because that just sounds corny, right? I don't want to say AJ looks phenomenal, but that's really a good word for it. AJ looked great. His model looked fantastic, but his entrance was a little weird. And as a big AJ Styles guy, this is something that I noticed right away. You know, like, this is just something that I noticed right away. And it's not exactly that it's like terrible or anything, because it's not. But you guys, if you play 2K16 and you remember Brock Lesnar's entrance, where Brock's entrance wasn't like awful, but it just felt like something was off. Like his Brock bop at the top of the ramp, it just felt like something was off. And that's how I felt like when I was watching AJ's entrance here. It isn't the one where he comes out and, you know, he's all bent down with the hood and everything. He still has the hood, and he takes it off to the music and everything. So it's lined up and everything. And he does the AJ thing where he puts his arms out and everything. But it's just weird looking, because it's not exactly what AJ looks like when he comes out, because you guys know AJ comes out nowadays and he's pretty much been over the entire time until the music hits, and he flips the hood back and does the thing. So it's not like that the whole time. He kind of walks out kind of stiff, a little weird. I just noticed that right off the top. It wasn't anything terrible. Like I said, it was just sort of like Brock in 2K16, where it just seemed weird, right? Like, as a huge fan, it's just something I noticed right away. Like, you can tell something is off. Like you can compare it to the DLC for 2K16, the DLC moves for 2K16, where, yeah, you know what the moves are, and you can tell what they are, and they're not bad, they're not awful, but something just seems off, if that's the best way to put it. Something just seemed off. Like, this doesn't feel like I'm actually doing the move. And same thing with the entrance. This doesn't actually feel at the very beginning like AJ Styles' entrance. But nonetheless, once he gets past the very beginning part and he starts making his way to the ring, it looks fine. AJ's model looks absolutely great. You guys have seen the screenshots. It's literally just like that. It looks great. AJ, I'm probably going to be playing as AJ most of the time that I'm playing 2K17. It's going to be awesome. Now, once we got into the match with AJ, the first thing I noticed here was the phenomenal forearm was just the... now, it could be different. I don't know if I might have done it wrong, or there could have been something, I didn't do. I don't believe I did the charge version, if there is a charge version. I'm remembering back to this right now. The phenomenal forearm that I used was just the animation from 2K16 with the springboard forearm, So I was kind of unimpressed with that. I expected some sort of theatrics to it or something that, was different. I mean, the springboard forearm that's been in the games, the animation has always kind of been AJ Styles, forearm from years before. But this time, it's AJ's kind of thing that nowadays in the WWE, which is ridiculous because I never would have thought the forearm would kind of be his thing in the WWE, but here we are and it is. So I was kind of hoping they would have done something with that, especially for AJ's first game, and they could have done some theatrics or something like that. That would have been nice and appreciated, but nonetheless, that was something that I noticed. Now, once we got into actual triple threat matches, because we did a couple of those, and the first thing that we noticed was the rollout feature, because that's one of the new features in the game, right? The rollout feature. Rollout can actually be pretty annoying, to be honest, and I think a lot of people saw that coming. And it could change from now to when the game releases. I mean, we do have a little while, so that, of course, they can edit stuff. But in this version of the game, in this demo version of the game, it was pretty annoying. I'm not exactly sure what triggers the rollout because nothing specific ever seemed to trigger it. It wasn't like I hit my finish or anything like that. Like, sometimes it was just off completely random moves, like a strong strike enziguri or something, just completely random stuff here. And when you get rolled out, this is how it works, just so for you guys to know, because I don't think they've actually shown gameplay of the rollout feature yet. But when you get rolled out, there's a meter that pops up, and there are red bars, orange bars, and then there's the final one white bar. You start in the red bars, and it goes up periodically. The more hurt you are, the slower it goes up, obviously. And you can't get up while it's in the red bars. So you basically have to sit there till it gets out of the red bars. And you have to wait until the meter progresses, and once you get into the orange bars, which is the second tier, once you get into the orange bars, you can break out of the rollout by pressing X. But if you do so, that's basically breaking out, so that means you get a debuff by doing so. So it actually hurts you, but sometimes you just have to do it, right? Sometimes there's just situations that call for it, and you have to go do it. So you have to break out. You get the debuff, but it's worth it because you be able to get back in the ring quicker. You can also wait out the entire meter until you get to the final white bar. And if you do wait the entire time out, you actually get a buff. So it helps you. So early on in the matchup and stuff like that, waiting and getting the entire meter up and then, getting back in the ring will actually help you. Now, at some points with the rollout, Tony was able, this was kind of ridiculous. And we weren't even like super long into the match, which is something that I noticed right away. Was at some points with the rollout, Tony was able to hit me with a signature, or hit the other guy as I was rolled out. He was able to hit a signature, a charged finisher, and pin before I was able to even break out in the orange. I mean, it can be a really, really long time at some points. Just really ridiculously long for no reason. So that kind of took away from the match a little bit, especially if you're playing with people who aren't very good at pins. I mean, they could maybe even win off, online where the pin meter might be a little iffy. I mean, they could win in the middle of the first rollout. Like it can be pretty game changing. So we'll have to wait and see when the game comes out and see how that plays out. I feel like they had good intentions for it, and I think if they tweak it a little bit, I think it'll be better than what we played in the demo. Now, we played backstage brawls a little bit. They're pretty cool. I mean, you can run up to the people in the back doing the interview, because you guys saw in the screenshots, like, you guys saw in the screenshots, I think it was Roman Reigns, and then Finn Balor was back there at one point, or Chris Jericho. I don't exactly remember, but it's different people. We had Kevin Owens in the demo we played. You can run up to those people in the back doing the interview, and they'll run away and go off screen, and you can chase them. You can't actually interact with them, but you can chase them. In the demo that we played, you couldn't actually go from the backstage brawl to the arena, but I'm pretty sure you can in the actual game. Don't quote me on that, but there seemed to be an area where you could run and go through to Gorilla, so I don't know, maybe you can. We'll just have to wait and see on that. But backstage brawls are pretty fun. I thought it was cool. There's a lot of stuff to interact with. The authority room in the backstage brawl, it was cool. The one where Triple H in the gameplay comes out. But Triple H, also, he doesn't interact at the door like in the gameplay all the time. So it's not always Triple H. Instead, we had Stephanie in one game we played. Stephanie was sitting behind the desk, just completely acting nonchalant to two dudes just beating the hell out of each other in the office. There's a bunch of different OMGs you can do. Of course, we saw the ones where you can do the OMG in the locker room. There's the one you can do in the locker room on the TV. You can put them through the authority desk, like Stephanie and Triple H's desk. And there's a bunch of cool stuff. You can jump off the crates in the back and do like jumping, like parkour strikes almost. If you're using anybody, you can just run up to the crates on the side of the hallway in Backstage Brawl, and a trigger will come up to say press square or something like that similar. And you can jump off the crate and hit them with like a axe handle or something like that. So that was pretty cool. I'm also not sure if you play as Triple H, if you will see Triple H in the back room. I don't know if they have some sort of code in the game that stops that from happening, but that would be pretty funny if that did happen. We also played the ladder match, which was pretty interesting. I think that's the best way to put it because, of course, you can only put the ladder in certain areas, which was, weird. It was weird to get used to at first, but you actually press 2 buttons now to put the ladder down. And you can put it in a bunch of different areas, actually. You can put it in the middle. You can put it in front of the ropes, or you can put it on the turnbuckles. So you can put it in the 4 spots between the turnbuckles, like where the ropes are. You can put it on the 4 turnbuckles, and you put it in the center of the ring, and those are the spots that you can end up putting that. Just some small stuff like R1 and triangle is activating an OMG moment now, so there's no more fidgeting around, where you have a finisher and they're up against the ropes, or even in Hell in a Cell where it was really hard to do it, where you're trying to get the OMG to break the cell open, you accidentally hit the finisher. It's changed now, so it's R1 and triangle to hit the OMG moment, which I thought was really nice. And overall, just all the characters look really nice. Shinsuke Nakamura's entrance was phenomenal. Just looked absolutely great. His character model was great, too. I'm excited for AJ and Shinsuke, to be honest. That's going to be really, really fun. But overall, I mean, if you play 2K16, you pretty much know what you're doing in 2K17, I think that's how they're doing this kind of thing, is you don't want to drastically change the game year by year. You just want to add on to it, so older fans kind of still get what's going on, and add some newer features that let newer fans kind of come on at the end here and jump on the bandwagon with them. But overall, I had a fun time playing 2K17. Of course, I'm always a bigger fan of the arcade style, but at the end of the day, I still enjoy the simulation for what it is, and I can enjoy what 2K is trying to do with it and pushing it forwards here. I think that the full game will be better than the demo that we played, and I think that hopefully we'll get some gameplay soon and really be able to see what's going on here with the near finished title of 2K17. So anyways, if you guys would like to tell me down in the comments below what you guys thought of what I was saying here about 2K17, that'd be pretty cool, and I will see you guys on the next video. Remember to leave a like, subscribe, and check all my other stuff out, and I will see you guys next time. See ya!
Impulse is the best, yes he is. Click the subscribe button, yes. You know you want to, yes you do. Click it today.